Welcome to another episode of URC Chumps. We're on episode 78. I have swapped an Irishman for a German South African this week. Welcome back, Tim.
How you doing, guy?
I'm all right. Yeah, she's a bit of a weekend, a bit not the way I wanted it to go. I looked at my Super Brew picks. I got 2 out of 8 correct.
Wee.
I have
It
got
was
a wooden spoon.
interesting weekend, but there are some question marks I have to raise.
Yeah, but I mean, also we need to look at it. A lot of the players weren't there.
Excuses. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, the South African teams don't have an excuse.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into it.
Indeed.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a very interesting weekend. Yeah. Let's start off at the top. The game that surprised me a bit.
Not you.
Eh?
Not just you.
Yeah, 8-7. I mean, there was a few injuries for Leinster in that game. Archie Sneeman just looked like a snowman in that game.
Yeah, he wasn't himself, was he?
No, it's just I don't know if it's just because he came back from injury and it was the fact that he was wearing a scrum cap as well. I don't know if that was just because it was the snow and everything, but yeah, it didn't look right.
Are we being superstitious now?
Lose the scrum cap when you play for the Box.
Yeah.
But yeah, Edinburgh beating Scarlets. It's good to see that they're finding some form, though it is a team that's second from the bottom. So
honestly, I was a little bit disappointed in Edinburgh. I thought they would have beaten them by more than 5 points. So,
but look, I mean, they are sitting 12th on the log right now.
Yeah, but with the side that they have on paper, I don't know what's happening in the background there in the change room there. But with on the side they have on paper, they should not be doing this poorly.
Yeah, I mean, but we've said it. They just haven't been performing this season.
But they seem to go through phases where they have a game and where they really turn it on. I mean, there've been a couple of games where I watched them. I think in the beginning of the season, I said to you, this is a side to be watched because they were just that good.
Yeah, I mean, out 12 games, they're sitting with what you call it, 4 wins.
30% win rate, I get it. But I mean, when they are on, they almost could beat anyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They should beat most. I wouldn't say they would go and topple Leinster, but, Cardiff proved otherwise.
Yeah. But then, I don't know what happened. That 24-10, that first half, Lions owned us. That second half,
it's quite simple. What happened in that game is we took 20-30 minutes to actually start playing rugby. We watched the Lions dominate the rucks, the lineouts, the scrums, the general play. They basically dominated the entire 30 minutes of the game, and we sort of just watched rugby happen in front of us.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions, the one thing I could say is they were a little bit more warmed up because they had a game the week before. They were definitely prepared for a Stormers resurgence, but unfortunately at the same time, Stormers, we weren't really there. We were just losing the ball, giving away silly little things. As soon as we get any momentum, we knocked it on, and they literally pummeled us right back. It was really not great to see from the Stormers side. We definitely need to wake up. And unfortunately, we're going to another break, which is not good for us.
My question is it too early to start sort of raising some red flags? Because we've lost to the Sharks twice, we've lost to the Lions. The Lions, congratulations. The Lions have sort of won the South African trophy, so congrats to them. But where does it leave the Stormers? They sitting in fifth now, They went from being unbeaten um,
Second
to,
to third to fifth.
they sort of on a downward spiral. Are they going to be able to turn the corner, or is this sort of the trend to come?
Yeah. Um,
Or is it
unfortunately,
too
that's
early? Like I said, is it too early to start raising red flags? But just the past couple of performances hasn't raised a lot of hope in myself. I must be honest.
I mean, we've got 3 home games coming up after the Bulls game, and then we literally, and I mean literally, are on the road and everything against one of the teams, which I will mention later on, which I'm a little bit worried, but the way they played this weekend, I was a bit, yeah. But yeah, but moving on, Bulls absolutely dominated the game. I see Hendrickson, when he was taken off, has gone for scans. It is nothing serious. He's just got a slight concussion, so he is out for a period of time, but it isn't as bad as they thought it was. But my lord, that game. Forster was a force to be reckoned with in the center there.
Yeah,
Uh,
look, the Bulls were just outstanding, weren't they? I mean, you've got to give it to them. At the end of the day, that they looked like a class outfit. And for a side that's been, if you look at it, they just over 50% win rate at the moment. They haven't had the season they would have wanted, but a performance like that, that's very impressive, and it puts them back into sort of playoff contention. So
yeah, eighth
what
right now as it
what's
stands.
really nice is if you really look closely at the log, all our South African sides have a possibility of making the playoffs.
Yeah, the Sharks just need a few
The
to go
Sharks,
in
the
their
Sharks
favor.
obviously have an outside chance. They need a couple of wins and
Yeah.
losses there and thereabouts. But the Stormers, the Bulls, the Lions, they look awfully solid.
Yeah. Then of course Dragons drew against Benetton. Unfortunately, Benetton had a lot of their players in the Italian
Yeah,
camp, so they went at full strength. But Dragons had a few of their key players also, but they do look a little bit better this season. However, it's still not good enough to get them off third from the bottom. Uh, but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, Dragons seem to be drawing more than anything right now these days. Um, yeah, Munster probably the only team north of South Africa that actually pulled off a decent win, a bit of surprise, beating Glasgow 21-7. Um,
I mean,
yeah,
you say it's a surprise. Do you really think it's a surprise?
considering Glasgow is still number one, it is a bit of a surprise, but at the same time, yeah.
I mean,
It,
this is what we're talking about.
but then again,
I mean,
Munster also didn't have as much.
Dara would be horrified that you just said it was a surprise that his team beat some other team.
Okay, let me just say, it isn't surprised that they won. It's just that it was a surprise of the scoreline. I would have expected a little bit closer.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
But I
Um,
expected to. I fully agree with you. I expected to be close, and I expected you could flip a coin. But Munster have really shown sides this season of really, really being in contention to win the whole thing. And Dara will be happy to hear me say that. But there's a couple of teams that really put up their hands this year. Glasgow, Munster, the Stormers in the start. Hopefully they can turn it around again. Obviously Leinster. These are teams that we're expecting to be thereabouts in the final semis.
but don't
So
forget, you said it. Now Stormers had a bit of in a kind of bit of a slump, but Munster also went through that slump, and now they seem to be getting into a decent run right now.
Well, I
So
think
hope,
their playmakers are controlling. I think Dara. It's a shame Dara couldn't be on the pod with us tonight because he could have brought a lot more insight to this. But like, I feel like their playmakers are really putting up their hands and really are taking control of the game and dominating in the sense that they are really communicating really well in defense and attack. So it's not so much that the playmaking is so on form, but their organizational skills, both on attack and defense, is so superb between 9, 10, and 12. It's really their communication at Munster at the moment is, for me, probably one of the top reasons why they're winning is that 9, 10, 12 combo are speaking and organizing on attack and defense so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been very impressive. So it's like I said, it's a pity Dar is not on tonight. But I think Munster's in true contender for this year's competition.
Yeah. And then a real upset for me regarding, but again, a lot of the players weren't in the team. They're missing stars like Balakoon and everything. The 21-10 victory for the Ospreys. I mean, the Ospreys we do know can be very hot, so we can't deny it.
Yeah, this is
But
true.
the Ulster that we've been watching recently has been phenomenal, and I would
Yeah,
have, yeah. I mean, right now it's kind of hard to judge what's happening with the Welsh teams because you're kind of like, oh, are they going to be in a slump? And then they come and they beat you, and then you're going to be like, well, they're in a slump, and then they still beat you or they draw against you, or you're like, oh, okay, they're in a good running period. It looks like they're on the right track, and then all of a sudden they go on a losing. It's kind of hard to judge this Welsh teams right now. I mean, yes, we've got Cardiff sitting at third. But I mean, the Ospreys are just hanging literally a point behind the Bulls to get into that top eight. Um, it's coming down to the wire right now. I mean, we've got like another 6 games left of the league. I know Stormers have 3 at home and 3 away, one being at the Bulls still. Actually, wait, I lie. We got an extra one because we 1 game behind. But yeah, um, that is what to go. Unfortunately, for some of the guys, we are going on a break right now because
yeah.
of this weekend is back to Six Nations. Ireland is hosting Wales. The Welsh have been giving away big points this season against the Irish, who are going to want to come and carry
No,
on after their dominance
I've,
performance
I've
against
been,
England.
I've been, I actually want to give a bit of props to the Welsh. There have been times where they've leaked big points, but at no stage have they given up. At no stage have they. It's not a want of effort. Let me tell you, those players are giving their all. So, like, I feel bad that they're getting, you know, pumped. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Yeah. And then losing the close ones too. Like they, I feel, I feel that the Welsh have really exceeded what people thought they would do the Six Nations so far. And it's been a hell of a Six Nations, hasn't it? It's been really great competition to watch. And I must admit, there's been some really good rugby.
but I mean,
Um,
let's talk about the Welsh's last game, which was against Scotland. And I mean, they give Scotland a run for their money. And unfortunately, in that last dying session, is where Scotland actually finished off
yeah,
the game. It looked like a turnaround. Let's hope that is going to carry on going forward. But I mean, the Irish have called back Bundy Aki, which I'll cover up a little bit later.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I mean, yeah, so are the Welsh going to be able? I do think,
I think it's going to be a 20-pointer to Ireland. I think it'll be a
yeah,
40-20.
but Costello at 10 is a better option for Wales than Edwards. So, yeah. But then the next day, across the pond is Scotland hosting France. Scotland are definitely going to want to turn around their kind of bad performance against Wales, even though they won. It's not how they want to. They are. It is the top of the table clash. France
Look,
is yet to
from my
lose.
side, come on, Scotland, yeah.
Yeah, Scotland. could be the team, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Italy are definitely going to be looking for blood because they have seen the fact that England has slipped a few games this season, and Italy right now looks probably one of the strongest Italian squads we've seen in a long time.
Look, I mean, Italy's rugby is improving leaps and bounds. You know, they at one stage people were saying, "Oh, why is Italy in the Six Nations?" Now they're toppling over Wales. They almost beat France not too long ago. I mean, they're real competitors now. Um, they got some proper players. I mean, you know,
And that scrum, yo.
yeah, the Italian scrum. I mean, I'll sound biased for this, but I'm really not. So Africa's got the best scrum in the world, but I think followed is the Italian scrum,
Yeah.
and the Georgian scrum is also superb.
No, no. Um, I still want to see if they're going to put Pollock on for 80 minutes, but then I saw a comment by Eddie Jones saying that Pollock reminds him of a young Bobby Skinstad, but at the same time, Pollock is not an 80-minute player.
But
And against Ireland,
I said this 2 podcasts ago that Pollock is Bobby Skinstad.
yeah,
I said it two podcasts ago.
that's why I mentioned it because Eddie Jones obviously listened to you.
I literally said it two podcasts ago.
But Bobby Skinster was more of an 80-minute player than Pollock.
To be honest, I think
Um,
Bobby was a bit better built. I think Pollock's quicker than Bobby was. I know Bobby was really quick, but Pollock's express. I mean, I'll give him that. The kid's got some wheels.
but yeah, it's.
But
I'm waiting to
thank
see
you,
the.
thank you. That's a little bit of an ego boost for me that Eddie Jones is watching our podcast and using my references.
Yeah, but talking about changes, it seems like Australia's made a decision. Queensland's Reds coach Les Kiss is going to take over from July. It's been announced he's going to finish off with the Reds until July before he takes over the reins. So I think
Let me
he's
just
going
say,
to do it.
that's a wonderful decision.
And he is looking forward to the battle with Jamie Joseph, apparently. If Jamie Joseph gets the All Blacks position. As far as I saw, it is still open. It isn't. I've also seen a couple of pundits actually give New Zealand rugby a bit of a bad rep on how they're handling this whole thing and the time they are taking to get a decision. They're like, yes, we understand you need to make the right decision, but now you're cutting it close. Like the guys are now in the thing. South Africa's already named their alignment camp, their first alignment camp, which if the guys' names are in there, it doesn't mean they're going to be played. It means
Yeah,
they're just getting into the system.
yeah, but Kibbs, we're in a completely different space. You can't compare where we are to where New Zealand rugby is at the moment. They are in 2016 South Africa. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
fair enough.
When we sat Alistair Garcia and Rassi took over, and they in that stage, they've just
Yeah.
sacked Razor. They're getting their new coach. The new coach is taking his time. Rassi did the same thing. My question is, are they going to take the tour to South Africa seriously, or are they going to use it to blood players in?
I think there's going to be a bit of both. The test matches are going to be the serious guys. The
Yeah, but how big?
franchises.
How big is your
Eh?
traveling?
Yeah,
Like
I think we're going to see more franchise.
40 players.
The more the youngers with franchise.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go about that. But then that's why Jamie Joseph is there, and we'll see what he comes up
Yeah,
with. But I mean, I think people are being a bit harsh right now. I mean, New Zealand's been the dominant force of rugby for generations, and I think people need to pump the grip back. Like this is New Zealand we're talking about. It's All Blacks. Like you guys need to just check yourself. They're still number two in the world or number three in the world. They still need the respect, and I'm sorry, I don't agree with the criticism that's coming their way. Um, just like we went through in 2016, they're going through it now, and they will bounce back because they are a wonderful rugby nation, and they'll come back stronger and better. And I can't wait for that clash.
yeah. But I mean, I think it's just more the fact that they've always expected to be dominant, and now they're not dominant. But I mean, you're going to go through phases. There's going to be teams that are going to be like, "Oh, that's what you're doing," and they're going to start gunning for that.
We literally
Yeah,
nitpicking here. I mean, we're talking
yeah,
about a side that's it's number three in the world. It's not like they dropped down to like South Africa, number seventh in the world in 2016. They're number three. Give them some credit. They made the last World Rugby World Cup final. They lost it by 1 point. Guys, pump the
yeah.
brakes. This is New Zealand.
But talking about New Zealand, um,
Stop
yeah,
talking about New Zealand and you put Aki on. That's very good.
um, he's back in the Irish squad. However, there's talk about the fact that he's going to go to the Prem next season because his contract's coming up with Connacht. And obviously, after his little spat that he had with the ref on the field, I don't think Ireland's looking forward to renewing his contract because his contract with the Irish union's coming up, which means he could be looking elsewhere to get some playing time. But
Yeah,
yeah,
guys. I mean, yeah. Look, rugby has to hold its traditions, and there needs to be consequences for your actions. Of course,
yeah.
but to end a man's career over this, I don't know. He didn't lay a hand on the referee. He used offensive language for sure. Like to end his. I mean, I think that might force him to have a look at where he's at career wise, where he's at age wise, how long he's got left. That
But
might come
I think that's also part of the fact that they're like, okay,
correct, correct. But I think now they're going to use that
age.
as a
Yeah.
as. I don't think that would have mattered so much had he not had the spat with the ref. I agree with you. Now they're going to go.
The,
Well, he's this old already, and we've got some talent coming through. Maybe we cut the cords. Yeah.
but now that's a second player from Ireland, literally on the verge of retirement, who has gone after a ref because the first one was Johnny Sexton, who chased Jakob Paper and used offensive language, saying, "If you lost us the effing game, you."
Sure, I'm gonna get Doro will hate me for this, but I think Johnny Sexton has always had an attitude problem.
Yep, no, I agree. But that's probably me as a South
He
African.
he thinks he's bigger than the game, and I think he's the type of guy whose head got bigger than his shoulders, and he can't behave like this. However, I don't want to classify. I think Bundy Aki is a really good guy. I think he had a bit of a brain fart, but I think he's actually. I don't want to put him in the same category as Johnny Sexton. I think Johnny Sexton
Yeah.
is also Johnny Sexton. I think Bundy Aki made a mistake, but I think
The
his
difference
moral.
was it was more dissent to the decision that the ref made it that which I mean you could understand a bit of frustration built up in the
I think
game and
I think we've all been there, but we've
yeah,
never said it out loud. You know what I mean? So,
I'm not gonna lie, I did once, but that was to a deaf ref that we had.
I think that's worse, bro.
He was making some shocking calls, and I just turned around and it was like you, yeah. I was like, no. But anyway, yes. But please, guys, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let us know your views below. Yes, reach out onto social media. And FYI, talking about social media, one of our listeners did listen out and said, please don't make Dutchie do the run.
I did see that. I did see that. We will not do that. We will.
Yeah.
We will.
We, we won't we didn't get the hashtags yet.
No, not yet. Hang on. We listen to our viewers.
Yeah. So yes. But anyway, but I mean, it's quite interesting. I mean, I read also this week that there's a bit of a concern about the amount of doping checks that we've done over the past since the 2019 World Cup. Obviously, it was done by a British newspaper.
I can actually explain that. So, South Africa currently has only one laboratory in the whole South Africa that is.
Oh, you're gone. You're. Yeah. But yeah, I do understand. Yeah, we do have that one laboratory, which of course it doesn't go through as fast, but we still have nailed a couple of players. It's not like we are holding
No, but
back.
what's happened is the funding for that laboratory is not ended, right? So they might have to close doors, and that is where the testing comes into play. Not the previous testing; it's the future testing that's in questioning here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the English public have got it wrong. They've picked up on stompies, as in South Africa we call it stompie. Okay, they've picked on a little bit of information and they've turned it into the headline that they want. Right? What's actually happening is the funding is not enough to keep the laboratory that we have open in South Africa. So the future of our testing is at risk, not our past. Every Springbok rugby player has to abide by World Rugby Federation laws. Okay, has to. There is no getting around that. There is no. You can dream, you can shout, you can scream, you can conspiracy as much as you want. There's no getting around World Rugby Federation's doping. No chance.
But the way it seems right now is we are testing more of our top elite players, not the bottom of the barrel scraping through and just making it in the game or making a game. It's the guys that are literally going to represent the country.
Okay, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
Yeah.
Okay, but when I was playing Currie Cup rugby, in the starting 23, 3 players got tested. And only if it was televised. And it's random. So you cannot play a single minute. You can sit your ass on the bench the whole game and they can ask you to pee in a cup. Okay? But that was in 2016, so I can't say it's the same. But that's how it worked back then. 3 players randomly picked from the not the starting, but the complete squad. And it doesn't matter whether you played or not, if you sat the whole game on the bench or not, and your number came up randomly, tuck. That's it. You got to go do that. Okay. However, it was only when it was televised.
But then you look at the teams like Province and Lions and everything, that most of their games were televised.
Bear in mind, this was Currie Cup B. So
yeah.
This was Southwestern Districts, Border, Orland, Leopards, Griffins, Falker, these sides.
Yo, talking about that, it's have you seen that whole thing that the Griquas have to qualify for the Currie Cup this year?
Ridiculous, since they are the defending champions.
Exactly. I mean, I would more say Province because we were at the bottom.
Hey, I had to defend my title.
Yeah, like, and you just slip up in that one game, and all of a sudden you're back at the B League instead of playing with the big guys.
You're ridiculous. It's laughable. It's laughable.
Yeah. Only 4 teams have qualified, and that is literally the 4 main unions of Province, Lions, Sharks, Bulls. The rest of them have to qualify. And I'm like, okay, cool. I understand, but like, is it really worth it? But yeah, they would be, oh, you won it. Okay, cool. So there's only one
One of
spot
those
available.
but you really got to think about why South Africa would meet New Zealand in the quarterfinals. One's ranked 1 and one's ranked 2 when the thing was draw.
Yeah.
How does
Like
this?
in the
How
cricket.
does this make sense? Like,
Yeah.
how does it make sense to you?
No, even South Africans are scratching their head going, Sorry, say that again.
Like, what?
Uh,
And they drew it according to the rankings at the time. South Africa's number 1, New Zealand number 2. Now we're going to meet in the quarterfinals. How does it work?
yeah. I mean, yeah. Actually, I'm wondering. I actually was training at the gym the other day, and the UCT Ike's team was training there,
Yeah.
and they should be playing right now in the Varsity
Maybe we
Cup.
should, yeah, maybe we should, we cover the Six Nations, a bit of the Varsity Cup next week. Guys, if you subscribers, if you want to see us cover a bit of the Varsity Cup, while the Champions Rugby's on a bit of a pause, let us know, and we'll do the Six Nations, a bit of the Varsity Cup.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
yeah, I mean, if you guys want us to do that, we can do that, I think. Pips?
yeah. I'm trying to see. Okay, it just shows that it was today. This week, of course, Varsity Cup is Tux versus Marty's. At Tux,
It's a big one.
CUT versus Shimlers at CUT. Emirates versus Ikes at the Emirates. What you call it? Last week did not go well for the province teams. Oh, and UJ and NW, and UJ won that game. But last week, Marty's beat UJ at home. Marty's. Shimlers lost to Tux at home. Ikes beat CUT at home.
What's this
NW
in Ike's? I missed that one.
Ikes 83-34.
Yeah, I thought it might be a big one. Okay.
Yeah. And that's got your one big boy, Aiden DaCosta, in it.
Oh well. Class always what do they say? Cream always floats to the top, huh?
Yeah. Actually, I actually spoke to him on Monday. He seems pretty stoked to be playing Varsity Cup right now. So
Is it sure? It was like I missed it by about 4 years, but
oh.
so glad it's in place. I'm not stoked with the new messing with the tries and point system. I don't think that. I'm not okay
yeah.
with that.
I actually spoke to one of the guys.
Don't mess with my rugby. Don't mess with my rugby.
I spoke to one of the guys about it, and he says it becomes more cardio.
Not American football.
Yeah, but that's what he said. He says it basically becomes more cardio because now you're literally either running in your 22 for a period of time, or you
based on American football. It's the old thing: you kick it over your 1 point, or you go for 2 points and you scramble. You know what I mean? It's the same principle. And I'm sorry, I'm not okay with that. I'm a rugby player, and I believe in rugby traditions. Take your American football and shove it up your.
Like the Six Nations is now doing that whole advert, and I saw one on one of the streams, and I was like, "Wait, what?" I'm busy listening to the refs and the commentary, and it just stops, and it talks about like Jet 2 holiday, and I'm like,
"What?
Why do I want to watch the Jet 2 holiday advert when I'm busy concentrating what's happening in the scrum?"
Yeah, this is when a prop will throw something at the TV. You know what I mean? He's waited like 15 minutes for a scrum, and now he's no what and hi.
J2 holiday, say 50. Like, whoa, what? And I'm busy like, okay, cool, all right. So they're going down for the scrum. Okay, he looks a bit tired. He's going to struggle. Last scrum, that guy did this. Quite interesting. The last one, there was a call about this. Don't know about if the ref got it right, but let's just see. And all of a sudden, it's talking about airlines as well. I'm like, what? What the hell? But apparently, people have complained about it. I mean, I don't have a problem if you do that, but then don't make it an advert. Just make it a flash on the screen.
I don't know. Just do it at halftime.
Or otherwise, like the rugby, where they have that like part where they take it and it's just the
That
border.
even annoys me.
It
That
annoys.
even annoys me. There's the halftime. Put it on the halftime.
But the thing is, it annoys you, but at the same time, it doesn't stop the flow of the game and listening to the commentary and everything at that point. It's just there you see Andre
point.
Pollard with the box passing it, saying Ram or DHL.
Halftime, you can sell your advertising there. Okay, This is the time where I refill my beer. I go to the toilet. I refill the popcorn or the chips, or I check on the braai. This is the time. Put your adverts on then, not when I'm watching.
Yeah. Oh well, good thing they haven't done it in South Africa.
This is against sportsmanship.
Hopefully, someone listens to us. But yes, my fellow champions, I think it's time for us to call it. Please leave your comments below. We actually do like listening to them, and I do bring them up when you guys mention them. And if you drop me a message or Tim a message or whoever, we'll bring them up. So yeah, I just want to say thanks very much, everyone. Thanks, Tim, for joining me. For the champions. Cheers.